The compound woke early that morning, alive with movement and color. Women tied bright wrappers around their waists, stirring steaming pots of rice and pepper soup, while laughter floated through the air. The naming ceremony was meant to be a day of joy, a day to welcome a child into the world and into the arms of family and tradition. At the center of the celebration lay the newborn, wrapped in clean white cloth, sleeping peacefully. He knew nothing of drums, prayers, or names. He knew nothing of the storm waiting to break over his head. Drummers arrived and began to beat softly, their rhythm calling neighbors from every corner of the street. Men shook hands, elders settled under the mango tree, and names filled with hope were discussed. Names that promised strength, honor, and long life. The child's mother sat quietly among the women. She smiled when spoken to, but her eyes kept drifting toward the gate. There was a heaviness in her chest she could not explain, as if her heart remembered something her mind was trying to forget. The father moved around proudly, greeting guests with loud laughter, his voice confident, his steps firm. To anyone watching, he looked like a man at peace, a man whose life was complete. Then the drumming slowed. A woman stood at the gate. Her wrapper was faded, her slippers worn thin, and her face carried the weight of many difficult years. She did not greet anyone. She did not smile. She walked straight into the compound as though she belonged there. Silence fell. Conversation stopped. Even the elders under the mango tree paused and stared. The mother felt her breath leave her body. She knew that face. She had seen it once before, long ago, in a time she had forced herself to bury. One of the elders cleared his throat and asked the woman why she had come, but she ignored him. Her eyes were fixed on the man who was meant to name the child. When she spoke, her voice cut through the air like a knife. She called the man by a name from his childhood, a name only family should know. Murmurs spread instantly. The father froze, his confident smile disappearing as fear crept into his eyes. The woman stepped forward and pointed toward the newborn. Then she said the words that shattered the celebration, that this child was not the first. Gasps rippled through the compound. A plate slipped from someone's hand and broke. One of the drums rolled onto its side and stopped beating. The woman spoke of a secret son, born years ago, abandoned and hidden so a man could protect his reputation and marry into respect. She spoke of promises broken and a child forgotten. The mother stood up slowly, her legs shaking. Her joy collapsed into anger and disbelief. She demanded the truth, her voice breaking as neighbors leaned closer, hungry for every word. The man shouted and denied everything. He called the woman mad. He said she had come to destroy his home. But his eyes told a different story, and everyone saw it. The woman reached into her bag and brought out old photographs and a folded birth document. The proof lay bare in her trembling hands. Arguments exploded, elders shouted, fingers pointed. Tradition clashed violently with truth. Respect cracked under the weight of exposed lies. Before anyone could stop her, the mother lunged forward and slapped the man hard across the face. Women screamed. Men rushed in. Bodies collided as shouting filled the compound. Wrappers loosened, dust rose, and chaos swallowed the celebration. Kola nuts were crushed underfoot. Palm wine spilled into the dirt. Items meant for blessing were scattered like broken promises. In the confusion, the stranger was pushed aside and fell hard to the ground. Yet even in pain, she smiled. Her truth was finally free. Above the noise, the baby began to cry. His voice rose higher and higher, the only innocent sound left in the compound. Eventually, the elders called for silence, but it was
Did you
too
see
late.
that? I can't
Something
believe it.
sacred had been
This is
broken beyond
impossible.
repair.
We have to do something.
Guests began to leave, shaking their heads, carrying the story with them into every corner of the neighborhood. By nightfall, everyone knew what had happened at the naming ceremony that never was. That night, the compound sat quiet. The child remained unnamed. The family lay divided, and it became clear that secrets buried in the past never stay hidden, especially on days meant for joy.